Hi, I'm TOEFL Guy, but everyone just calls me Guy. Do you remember me? I'm on the first episode of the general block and the listening block too. If you haven't seen it yet, check out the playlists. This is the first episode of the reading block. We are going to take a quick look at the format of the test, see some types of questions used in the exam, and the types of texts as well. It is very important to know the test well, but we will do it step by step. In addition, we have a link for you to download the folder with tests to practice, which ETS itself offers for free. So let's go. Oh, I almost forgot. If you already have the book, the beginning of Chapter 2, pages 60 to 65 have detailed information about the material in this episode. If you've read it already, you can watch the episode to review the content and clear up any doubts. And if you haven't read it, it is worth taking a look after watching the episode to delve a little deeper. And if you haven't got the book yet, you can get it on Amazon. Just check the link in the description of this video. But in the end, everyone has their own way, right? Whatever works for you. Now, we are really going.
What's up? Today we are going to talk about the reading, because this is the reading block. As this is the first episode, we are just going to take a quick look at the test as a whole and raise some important points, so we can have a general idea. To begin with, what do you read in your everyday life? How is this reading? Some people read newspapers, magazines, things like that. Others read books, pamphlets, signs, flyers, leaflets, and whatever else. I think nowadays people read mostly websites and text messages. The important thing is that we read differently, depending on our reason for reading. So why do people read? Usually the most common reasons are fun, information, instruction, learning, and curiosity. But in this course our reason for reading will be to achieve the best score in the exam. And how do we do this? It starts with understanding that in the proficiency exam, reading is different from how we usually read, and developing our ability to read for the exam. And how do we do this? There are several ways, right? And the key is to find a way that works for you. But the first step is to know the test well, the types of texts they use, the types of questions they ask, the types of alternatives they give. Then we will think about the best way to take the exam. So where do we start? How about we take a look at the format of the test? The reading test screen is different from all the other tests. On the top of the right side you will see the controls, volume, review, help, back, and next. This is the only test on the exam that allows you to go back to previous questions. That is why it has review and back controls. If you click on review, you see a list of questions in this section, identified by number. You can go back to any past question and revise your answer. You can click back to return to the previous question and next to see the next one. Volume is for adjusting the volume of the recordings and help for viewing the help section.
Your strategy starts with these controls. You have to decide if it's worth going back to previous questions to review or not, and whether to leave blank questions or not. It might seem like a good idea to skip questions if you are unsure and answer them later. The problem is that the test is quite fast. There are 3 or 4 sections and you have 54 minutes to do 3 sections and 72 minutes to do 4, that is 18 minutes per section. In each section you have to read a text of about 700 words and answer 10 questions. to be sure. The best way is to try different strategies and choose the one that works best for you. We will discuss these many times and discuss how other people do it as well. And how about the texts? We have already seen that the texts are around 700 words in length. The exam uses texts adapted from academic books and articles that introduce disciplines or subjects, written in expository, argumentative, or historical style. We will see each of these styles throughout the course. Introductory text means that you don't need to know anything about the subject, because the text will explain the content from the beginning. We will see several examples, and there is a lot of material online that you can use to get used to these types of text and the questions. What is the question format? Most are multiple choice with 4 alternatives. Some have more than 4 alternatives and more than one correct answer. There is also text insertion, which asks you to choose one of the points indicated in the text to add the additional information that the question brings. There is only one of this in each section of the test. The last format is organization, which asks you to organize information in the text, like identifying the sequence or separating information according to criteria, such as causes and effects, positive and negative points. Each section has one of these as well. To summarize, each section of the reading test has 1 text insertion question, 1 organization question, and 8 multiple choice questions.
This was the first episode of the reading block. We saw that the reading screen is different from the other screens on the exam and that the reading is the only test that allows you to return to previous questions. You already know that you need to decide if it's worth using this or it's better to take it without leaving anything blank and without going back to review. But you don't have to decide that now. We have plenty of time for that. We saw that the texts are adapted from academic books and articles, which are introductory, written in an expository, argumentative, or historical style. Remember that we will discuss these styles during the course, but for now it is just for us to know what they are. We also saw that the texts have an average of 700 words, that we can have 3 or 4 sections in the test, that each section contains 10 questions, and that we have 18 minutes to read the text and answer the questions in each section. Watch the general block as well to see several tips on how to improve your reading techniques and improve other skills like speaking, listening, and writing. Don't miss the next episode of the reading block. We will be discussing 3 types of questions that appear on the reading test: factual information, negative factual information, and inference. And we are going to see examples of these types of questions in a half-text mini-test section. So see you then. If you are a newbie, don't forget to subscribe to the channel.